Welcome back, everybody, to session 9 of a Sha'ir's poem. Last we left our companions at the door to the offices of this interesting character everyone seems to be afraid of, the Helper. Seemingly rather possibly a harmless and somewhat of a wholesome title to be referred to as a helper. But perhaps it's not exactly the kind of help that one likes to admit that they need. A shady yet flamboyant individual with a seemingly a pretty good sense of humor, known as the Acquirer, who came to fetch the two of you, brought you through the maze of Soltaj's lower quarter, and you had lost your bearings almost rather quickly in the ducking and the weaving through very small alleyways and tight quarters there, past the many brothels of Soltaj's lower quarter, and you find yourselves beyond a heavily guarded door at these ornate wooden doors that are again studded with bronze, reinforced, and it would take nothing less than a battering ram to get through here. The floor is yours, gentlemen. Describe your characters for us.
Well, Shed Kuru is standing there in a somewhat well appointed robe, if you will, a flowing affair of what looks to be a light colored unbleached linen with, of course, the red woven into its edges to make just a little bit pop of color. His head is covered with a cloth bound to his head by a band that, though looks somewhat exotic, is actually just made of fairly well crafted wood and bone beads that have been strung together. Below that is a sun darkened face and with very inquisitive eyes in it. Eyes of brown, I believe it is, and of course a fine beard for a Yathite. Stands tall, proudly, just under 6 feet. At this moment, he has no weaponry whatsoever and is affecting a limp, just because they made him take away made him give up his walking stick. The expression on his face is one of companionable humor, if you will, having up until this point been jesting quite a bit with the acquirer. Also, while obviously offering information tidbits here and there about what's been going on in the town that he might be able to barter here for some consideration of some type. He has a worn leather satchel over one shoulder that's partially concealed by his robe that at the moment has a couple of mangoes in it still. But other than that, nondescript. So,
Yarrow, if you could describe a man who it looks like his skin is the smoldering ashes of a fire with the little hints of the sparks within, that would be looking upon Yarrow. He is an Ignead half breed that stands just shy of 6 foot. His amber eyes catches the lights as they walk down and will either reflect like gems or look like pools, depending on how you catch him. He is dressed in probably with just what is simple pirate attire or desert attire, since Shed got him a outfit not too long ago. Before that, he was only in a loincloth, basically. He feels a little out of place as he has no poultices, no bandages, and no weapons. So he's a little bit out of his element here at the moment. But he is here with his friend Shed, who has so far not screwed him over and has only brought him to the betterment from his after his escape from the cannibals. He still has very little idea of what is actually going on down here, other than the fact that they walk through a very heavily guarded area. He's dealing with a man who is almost more court jester than anything else, and his friend Shed is eating along with the proclivities and garrishment of it all. Yarrow is, for the most part, kind of playing the stoic, silent type to see where this goes. And as said, he is kind of just in his friend's corner in case anything was to go awry. Otherwise, he's kind of just along for the ride.
The acquirer, I will give you a brief description of him. As stated previously, a flamboyant, somewhat ostentatiously dressed swashbuckler. He is a mix of a few different races here. There is some characteristics of the Fae in him, where his ears are a little bit more oblonged than what a regular mortal would be. And his features possibly more angular, more perfected, more beautiful. He has freckles, which neither have ever seen an individual with freckles that he possibly may be mistaken as makeup of some kind. He does, however, have the magnificent eyeliner that is fashionable for Yathites of the mainland, but he is dressed in scarlet, an umber-colored cloak, some trousers that are also undyed, undyed linens, tall leather sandals that go up to his knees. He has a saber on his left hilt, made of bronze. He's also armed with a buckler there, and an impossibly wide-brimmed hat with a peacock feather stuck into it. The acquirer shoots a look over his shoulder at the two of you, just almost to make sure that you're possibly still there. And he knocks twice with the knuckles of his right hand, and he pushes the double doors open, which reveals to you a moderately sized office. This whole underground complex seems to have been built out of a wine cellar of some sort, and then had multiple additions added to it, because the dimensions of these subterranean rooms here are clearly a lot bigger than the hovels that are above. This room suggests that it was the basement of a moderate-sized building from above. There is a staircase in the back left-hand corner, but a lot of the furnishings of this room, besides the large desk in the center back third, with a Yathite leaned over the table, his palms down on the table, going over maps and charts and ledgers and such like. The stink of possibly a few hours old opium smoke comes out on the short breeze here, and insults your senses. The acquirer leads you in and takes a position to the right hand side of the door, and closes the door behind you. On a closer inspection of the room, there is a woman, an impossibly beautiful woman. She's breathtaking. Sits on a cushion, of mauve and purple silks. She wears a rather diaphanous gown with a veil that covers much of her face, save for her eyes that are large and luminous and sky blue. Besides these foreigners that you had met a few days ago, you did not know that eyes came in sky blue. But nevertheless, she is breathtaking, and her outfit doesn't really hide much of her. However, to Shed Carew, she is wearing a gown of pink and almost adhered to those silks and those that fabric. There is the tinkle of woven gold and gemstones sewn to the fabric. And to Yarrow's eyes, she wears the same outfit, but in the color green. And as soon as she sees the two of you, she gives you both a look of haughty disgust and pulls a blanket over her to obscure her features. And she turns her face from you, which, I mean, there's no reason to be that way, but the motion is so possibly womanly. However, something about her is otherworldly. It stings your pride a little bit to have someone look so disdainfully upon you. And the Yathite across the room looks up from his papers and says, "Do we have an appointment?" He shoots a look to the woman, and she looks at him, and he just shakes his head. And she just lays there with propped up on one arm.
I had requested one, good sir. I'll look at the acquirer with a bit of a quizzical look. I believe I did, sir. I do bring tidings.
Well, out with it then. The man behind the desk says.
Shed just sort of very quickly sort of glances around and says, "We may be all in danger. In fact, I know for a fact we are all in danger. And seeing as you are the man who makes things happen around here, I thought you should be one of the first to know. The cat-eyed folk plan to raise this city in 2 days. Actually, but under 2 days now. It seems the harbor master may have offended them with his demands for gold."
And where did you get this information?
Directly from the camel's mouth, as it were. I was speaking with one of their, I believe he's one of their foremen earlier today. Very pleasant fellow, I might add. And through my my wiles and such, I was able to determine from him directly that they will be taking this city in 2 days. That was the exact words he said.
Hmm.
He seems to have taken a shine to me, of course.
Hmm. He leaves his desk and goes to a map on the wall. Previously, you hadn't actually seen this one. It's actually a rather well-detailed map, all things considered. Neither of you, I know, are trained in cartography, but it seems that it's the coastline of Thorana, at least the western coastline of Thorana, and it's got a spray of islands and a rather extensive archipelago. He goes, if they're going to be attacking, I suppose we're going to have to move then. He mutters a few other things under his breath, and the acquirer just kind of shoots Shed Carew a look and just doesn't say anything.
He'll look back over at the acquirer with just a look himself. Seems almost may have surprised him, possibly. And I'll remark that is a marvelous map there, sir. The cartographer must be renowned across, well, all the lands.
The helper, seemingly, the person that you're having this interview with, does not reply.
Okay. With that, he can Shed Karoo can take a hint, and he will then patiently await his thoughts, either to be sent away or spoken to more.
What is Yarrow doing here?
Yarrow this whole time will probably just be essentially in the back of the room close to Shed. Unless he is spoken to, he doesn't have much to say, as once again he was not sure why they were here, but Shed's words on the Cat-Eye folk attacking pretty much coincide with his own, so he doesn't really have anything to add on it either. He knows what a map probably looks like, but he can by no means actually read it or know what it is, but he assumes seeing island and whatnot on a big piece of paper that's, it's a map. He just doesn't know anything more than that.
Okay. So he says something in a language that you don't understand without turning, and the woman actually replies. Again, probably more likely in the same language there, and she actually gets up from her cushion with this blanket still wrapped around her, and she comes to stand next to him, and they have a brief conversation between themselves, and she puts her finger on a map, excuse me, on the map, and then she traces a line from maybe a series of islands, and almost in an island hopping type fashion, to a larger island, and then she says the word Yatambrathale.
While she's there, Shed Karoo is going to see what he can gather about her. Obviously, she's covered with this blanket. I'm assuming it drapes to the floor, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, not all the way to the floor. You can see her feet, but she's not wearing shoes.
Does she appear to be Yethite, or can I place her?
Can't place her lineage. She's not like, okay. You can tell by looking at Yarrow as well as the acquirer that they're bastards of some kind. There is a mix there. Her, everything seems to fit.
Okay.
Like the acquirer, his freckles and his slighter frame, but has a little bit more muscle, like Fencer's physique on a slight frame doesn't go together. But on her, you can't tell, but everything seems to fit.
Okay. I'd like to make an esoteric knowledge check to see if I know of any beings that might be like that.
Okay.
I gotta freaking suppress. 8 to 1.
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I think my camera froze. It's fine. I don't give a shit. It's fine.
I did a game last week like that.
So, and now you actually can't place her.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we overhear the name of that town or city, whatever she mentioned, or is she saying it quiet enough that we don't hear her?
Well, they're not trying to be quiet. They're talking, and you guys are less than 10 feet away. So no,
Oh,
you can hear all that.
Yarrow will look at Shed and repeat the name of the town with like a quizzical look. Like, do you know what that one is? You're muted.
Muted, Keith.
I could have swore I clicked that just now. Would academics help with that?
Yeah, go for it if you want. Sure.
No suppresses. Oh, no suppresses that time. So, and 10, that's a 13.
A 13.
Yeah.
Actually, is he Tamberthale actually a lesser known city? Let me check my notes. No, that's actually that would be a hard difficulty.
Okay.
Did not
Yeah.
get that
So,
one.
yeah, Shed will just shake his head. I've never heard of it.
Hmm.
So, I'll look over at the Acquirer. Have you ever heard of it?
I've been there a handful of times.
Oh, nice place.
It's a beautiful place.
You wouldn't by chance be taking on passengers there, would you? He'll sort of smile at that as if he doesn't expect the answer to be yes.
The acquirer just kind of looks at you like, really? And the helper he looks at you out of the corner of his eye. He goes, "You come into my home, you give me some information, and you expect travel?"
Oh no, no, not at all, sir. My father always used to tell me that if one does not ask, the answer is always no. So, that is all there was. So,
you have anything else for me?
That, as far as I know, is the biggest thing. There are a few rumors here about the town, of course, but nothing that would be of interest if we are to be burned out in 2 days.
Well, that
Apparently
depends.
the cannibals are getting close to the outsider walls, though.
Oh,
No.
everyone knows that.
And there is a captain, I believe, that delivered some stone that was he possibly was looking for some cargo to and maybe some assistance leaving the port, possibly under the nose of the port authority, as it were.
I don't see how he'll need help leaving.
If he waits 2 days, I'm sure he won't.
Oh no, that clears it up, especially if the foreigners are going to burn the place.
Very true.
At the mention of the cannibals getting in closer, Yara will actually give a involuntary shudder.
I'll look over at you. Go ahead.
I was just saying, as if like suppressing, the whole memories, and I don't want to go back there type of ideal.
Shed will look over at you and say, "Do you know more about those cannibals than I do? Do you have anything to add? It could be very useful information. Maybe they know something we don't."
I highly doubt they knew anything more than eating people and sacrificing people to that thing.
So.
Because no, and if they did talk, they spoke in a language I could not understand, unfortunately. All I know is I wanted to get away as soon as possible.
Maybe you could actually help us. Possibly not, of course, not with passage to where you're going. That would be way too much of an imposition. I would never expect that, sir. Sort of bow with that. And he says, "But Yarrow, you said you were feeling a need to go. Which direction were you needing to go?"
I believe before we got captured and I got marooned, we were going to be going to Raw. It was also actually I don't think I actually quite did that. Is the gayest pulling me in a certain direction, narrator?
It actually is in the direction of Ra. You
Okay.
don't know if that is the place you're supposed to go, but it's in that general cardinal direction.
So yeah, he just mentioned that. Yeah, he has a need to go to Ra.
So if thus, good sir, if you might happen to know of a captain heading that direction, I would very much, I would be very much obliged to you if you were to let us know whom that is.
Given the information that you've given me, I'll have captains going in all directions, and I don't know anyone right now where is going anywhere.
Uh,
The woman standing next to him says something, and he actually takes her hand in his, and he kisses her fingers. And I can make you roll for it, but you see a ring on his left. He's got his hand in her left hand.
Mhm.
Her hand in his left hand, and he's wearing a ring on his left index finger. There we go. Oh my God. It's hard to actually get out. Shit. And he kisses her fingers, and she disappears into the ring.
That's a trick knowledge again.
Go for it.
Did get that roll that day. That is going to be a 20 even.
20 even? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It just so happens that she's probably a djinn, and that's probably her vessel is on her man's finger.
So
Congratulations. You just realized he has a ring of power.
yes, that makes him a man of more note than just a runner of criminal organizations in my mind, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
And now
Okay.
Yar
You guys
also
are now
knows,
immediately afraid of this guy.
and now Yar also knows why she looked at them with such disdain.
Mhm. That's her man.
I'll actually look over with a bit of surprise at the acquirer. Like, whoa, oh, interesting. So, but I'll keep my mouth shut at that. He opens his mouth as if to say something and then shuts it because he's very curious.
All right. With that, he basically he dismisses you. He turns and says, that'll be all. We have work to do here, and you're now in the way.
So Shed will bow to him and say, if I can be a facilitator for you, I am at your disposal for at least the next day and a half.
I do not require your aid.
Okay.
Bend your every effort to get out of here alive if you so choose. As he's doing this, he's actually gathering up many of his ledgers, a lot of his things. He belts a khopesh onto his hip, and there is a call. The door opens behind you, and like 6 of the 12 goons in the previous room come in, and you guys are escorted out, and a couple of the other guys help him basically break down this room. They're yeah, and they're breaking this thing down fast. Like
So as we reacquire our equipment, I'll look at the acquirer and I'll say, may the gods guide you well. So,
he
and
just nods.
and mayhap chance we'll see us meet it once again. I'd love to have a nice cup with you at some point in trade tales. I'm sure you have some wonderful ones.
If you survive that long, possibly find us in Utamarthel.
And if you find yourself in Ra, which seems to be our next destination, but fairly well. And he'll head out. Look, as we're going out, look over at Yarrow. I think we need to go back and get our stuff gathered together too. What little we have in my hovel.
You guys are basically it's just left out there in that small courtyard where the well was.
Okay.
And they shut the door behind you, and you feel the bolt go in place. They're like, you just kind of left there with this. Oh, I guess so now. All right.
Right.
Um, I'll look around. I'll look around and sort of look at Yarrow and sort of, follow me. And we're going to take some back alleys. Try to make sure we're not being followed. Just
I would hope
because,
you would.
yeah. So, shall I do a stealth check for my smuggling him through the alleyways? So,
Yeah, I
okay.
believe you're going to give him. It's basically it's half of your score. So actually, no, it's either equal to your level. I don't remember. We've never had a smuggler actually played before.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, I
that's
just didn't get a chance to do it. So
that's going to be an 18. So let me pull up the information here. Now, if you want my actual, if it's my actual total bonus for my stealth, that's only a 5. So
So I believe Yara will basically get a +2.
okay.
Stealth.
let's see. So I got a 14.
Okay.
Um.
Thankfully, he's not wearing much.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, no, you'll get that +2 bonus, basically round down.
Okay.
God, I actually
Sounds-
haven't read that in a while. A while. Okay.
So with the bonus, it's a 14. Without the bonus, it's a 12.
Okay. 14 is acceptable.
Okay. All right. So
you guys don't know where you're at anymore, but you're well hidden.
that's good. Once I get so far, I'll make sure I'm in an area where I don't see anyone around me listening. I'll turn to Yarrow and say, "So, you want to cause a bit of chaos?"
Usually, I get people out of chaos, but what do you have in mind?
Well, it may happen to get us a bit of coin and posse patches off the island. We've told the handler. Should we also maybe tell the port the master of the port?
So you
Hey,
want to tell the master of the port that the port's going to get invaded?
Yes. Hey, possibly.
Isn't it to say one that thinks we're always causing trouble?
My father always said, "Don't be part of the problem, be the whole thing." That way you control the whole thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of worried about that because that fellow might just clap me in irons just for the hell of it because he already doesn't like me. Maybe be able to do him right to be surprised for once.
Make me awareness tests. You guys are pretty far away from the coast.
Okay. Okay, that's gonna be. It's a 9 for me.
Okay.
So 13 for me.
Okay. It's pretty obvious you guys are kind of more paying attention to yourselves instead of the larger environment around you. But basically on the edge of what you're able to hear, you hear a thunderous crash and screaming moments later.
Huh.
Now, is this the same type of crash that would have sounded like when the Kraken type thing smashed through my ship? Or does this sound like something else?
No. This is basically a building falling over.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm sure we'll react. We need to see what the hell's going on.
And possible falling masonry.
Yeah. We need to get to a place we can get advantage.
A few moments later, there's another crash, and it's closer.
let's
think
get
we
out
need
from
to
these.
move.
Yeah, let's get out from these alleyways. So we'll start making our way fairly quickly out of these alleyways.
Uh,
Is there anyone else moving? Like do we see anyone else reacting to this, or are we just alone?
well, in your immediate area, because you're kind of in a secluded place, you guys are the only signs of life besides like a cat.
Right.
Um, and the kitty is obviously going off and doing its thing now. If something scared it, but now
Right.
you leave the alleyway, and now it's the sounds of the the city, and now almost in full panic as another crash happens. Um, there are basically what passes for a militia here, attempting to form. If you guys look down in the direction of the coast, um, okay, thank you, Keith. Thank you. So, what is Shed Kuru's cunning modifier?
3.
Right, so yeah, you get a +5. It really doesn't matter now, but now
Yeah,
right.
it would have been a 5
It
total
just
then.
just
Yeah.
verifying. So I was looking it up.
Perfect.
So we're at a 17.
Right. Which is still a 14 is nothing to sneeze at. It's fine.
Right. Anyway,
So
out in the
um,
open.
yes, you guys are now out in the open. There are people running all over the damn place now, and you guys look in the direction of the harbor, and instead of just the one ship, there are two in the harbor proper, and one is outside of like the cove that they've retrofitted into a harbor, and the one outside the mouth of the cove that's kind of like broadside, kind of like blockading the whole place in, is a trebuchet.
Uh,
They're laying siege to the town right
They
now.
said 2 days.
they lied.
God damn it.
It happens.
Here, I thought they liked us.
I did. I agree. Now you know how they paid you so well.
Yeah, well,
They probably
40
expect to get it back.
Yeah, right.
Well, at this point, we need to get out of town.
Do you have anything at your place that you need to get? I have everything on me.
Nothing. I do together a few things, my cooking gear, so we can actually have food. And if we need to make poultices, I have the ability to do so. So,
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll beeline for what was it, Shed's Flop House, I believe.
yeah, our little flop house, if it's still standing.
That's on the docks. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, You guys make your way down there.
Mhm.
And obviously it gets more and more chaotic and frantic the closer you get. You see basically a troop of these raiders, these tradesmen now turned raiders, um, basically going from door to door and clearing the doors almost as though like proper. Well, I shouldn't say this. They're going door to door in an organized fashion. Your characters wouldn't have the
military training to know.
Yeah.
No,
they just
those
seem
of us who
organized.
they're just very organized. You're Mike, as a veteran, well, these guys are going door to door clearing the place like this is proper city fighting.
Right.
And you guys just say that like maybe they're just pillaging each home. We don't know. We see one big foreigner kind of throw himself through a door, and maybe a guy is thrown out into the street, and he basically takes the stone flags of the road in the teeth. He comes out with a young woman over his arm. The young woman isn't struggling. That's the problem. She's just like, okay, this is happening now, and
Oh
she's
no! Please stop! Don't
hi,
do
right,
it.
yeah. Um, Yeah, like Saxon women being abducted, quote unquote, abducted by Danes. Yeah, right. And this foreigner stomps on the back of this guy's head, and he walks off with her. Uh, and that's about a coin toss whether that happens or it there's maybe a little bit more struggle in there. But you see about 30 of them going up to the manor house on the hill. And maybe you might get a little bit of, all right, there we go. Should we stick around for that? No, maybe not.
Yeah. So in that case, we'll be trying to be stealthy and getting into the flop house just to gather my things.
Okay.
That's a little better. That's gonna be a 21 for me. So
Okay. Add
stealth
5
is
for
one of
Yarrow.
my best skills.
Yeah, that's only an 11 for him that time, even
Okay.
with the bonus.
You're able to get there. Well, relatively. It's not that you're relatively unseen. It's just they're not paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There
as
is an
we're-
abundance of ebon in this scene now.
um, as we're doing this and we see people out in the street, are they accosting like people who are trying to just like get to the dock, or are they just accosting people in the houses?
Anyone who looks like they put up a resistance, basically gets butchered there in the street.
Okay, but I mean, like if they're not trying, like if they're literally just trying to like get away, are they getting like taken out anyway, or is it kind of like, all right, get the fuck out of here, and we're not dealing with you?
Are you gonna stand there and watch, or
Well, this
are
is
you
like
guys,
as we're running, well, as we're trying to stealth out.
you guys can't tell?
Okay.
Okay. Well, once I get inside, just gather my paltry cooking stuff together and let's see out the back window.
Oh, there's a back
So,
window conveniently
yeah.
now. Oh,
Well,
nice.
conveniently there. Well, it's more of a hole.
Nice.
I
Okay.
mean, it's a hovel. So, okay, we'll just sort of, yeah.
So you guys scramble out that back door, that back window, that back
Yeah.
portal.
Yeah.
And there's the old Atean woman, that fucking sea hag. She's out there, and she's got her fish bones in her left hand and her like crushing depths prayer beads in the other, and she's like hobbling around in the street. And these guys, these raiders, are just kind of like not around her. They're basically moving. She is this calm little eye of this storm that's walking through this thing. And she's like, she's walking in the direction of the beach, and people are mostly ignoring her.
Okay.
By the way, they did loot the shrine.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, it's a not a grand temple, but there would be some treasure there.
Oh yeah.
At
Well,
the very least, they would steal the icons and then put the icons up somewhere else.
I'll look at Yarrow and look at her and then look at Yarrow. What do you think? Shall we escort the babushka?
Hold on a second. Like Yar's like internally thinking about this for like 6 seconds. He's like, she's really fucking creepy. But then again, she is a babushka, and you always help out the babushka.
Not always.
Okay,
You guys
he was
have
always
very-
taught help out the babushka.
Oh, you guys have a very strong misconception that all babushkas are goodly.
Oh no.
No, they're not.
But you
Well-
don't want the bad ones coming for you.
It's not even that they're goodly. It's just that's an elder.
All right, your fucking
So-
funeral.
Right?
Okay.
Come out in
I
front,
dare
from in
ya.
front and behind. Pools of blood.
Well,
Yeah, no. Yarrow will just nod and
Okay. I will use Whisper on the Wind. That's my point. And I will send her a
make
message.
me a spellcasting test.
All right.
And that does not explode.
Right. That's a 14.
14? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. And I will send a message to her. Come this way, Babushka, into the end of this alley. So.
Nothing changes. Nothing
Okay.
changes. She just keeps walking in the direction of the beach.
I'll look at Yarrow, look at her, said, we tried. I guess we'll make our own way to the beach. See if we can find a boat, maybe to get out of this place, or at least a place to hide away from the town.
Right?
Right.
At this point, they are firing the street, and moments later, the place turns into a holocaust.
Yeah, we'll definitely be moving as fast as we can to probably to the beach, or at least the woodlands adjacent to the beach.
Okay.
Oh.
So now that you've actually acquired the beach, there is a ship that is negotiating its way off of the pier, which in hieroglyphics down the sides reads, "She who runs before the wind."
Oh no. Okay.
And how do you guys wish to proceed?
She's making it away from the dock as we speak.
Yeah, she's leaving. She is dipping out.
Do you think we could possibly make a jump to the deck? I mean, is it obvious? Is this thing we could possibly do, or is it something that would be definitely not possible?
All I'm gonna say is you can try.
Okay.
I'm never gonna tell you no.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's like 20 feet out, obviously we're not going to make it. But
like I said, you can try. Desperation breeds proficiency.
Yeah, Yarrow, and he'll just turn and start running toward the dock as fast as he can. I'm trying to make that jump.
Okay.
That's athletics, right?
Yep.
Okay, not acrobatics, just athletics. Okay, athletics is not as good. Oh shit!
Right, I got a forte in that.
I have a 12.
Forte in athletics. Oh, you got a 12?
Sorry, so I have a background in athletics, not a forte.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So before Yarrow would make the jump, he would look around for the babushka one final time.
She's walking out into the surf.
Oh, she's probably fine then. She's probably gonna do some weird voodoo shit.
Thanks, Mike.
It's a weird babushka with crushing depth shit walking out to the
probably,
surf. She's gonna be fine.
She's going home.
Yeah.
And for fuck's sake, she turns into a mermaid. We don't know.
Yeah, right? God damn it.
We don't know her life.
Right. I will say a prayer.
She's a deep one. You know what? Lose 3d8 sanity. Yeah, she's
right.
a fucking deep one.
Fuck off with that.
Thanks.
Does that explode?
Yeah.
Does
yeah,
that?
It does.
Yes, that can explode.
And you have to re-roll ones.
Aww. Well, I'm gonna do it now. She's a fucking deep one.
No,
I did some research. The female deep ones are the ones that you got to worry about.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on. No. She's about hip deep in the water, and she's still walking out there.
Right. Yeah. She's fucking fine. She's got her own priorities right now.
Right.
Yarrow will say an internal prayer to his spirit to grant him the strength and endurance to get through this. No
Make a
bonuses.
spellcasting test.
Well, no, because the only thing he has aspect wide is conditioning, so it's not going to count for this.
What?
It's more just it's the only thing I have right now. I only got the one.
Oh well, for shame.
It's just
Hurry up
more
and
of
get
the
more.
whole. It's just more of the whole. Help any way I can if it's not a mechanical bonus.
Oh well, fine.
But I got a 16 off the roll.
That's athletics. We're jumping.
Yes, athletics for jumping.
Well, into the drink we go, gentlemen.
Mm.
Uh, and the uh, as you guys jump into the water, you guys look up, and the trireme that has the siege weapon mounted on it. Why? Why does it have a siege weapon? Because they fucking can. That's why. You see this boulder just go up over and then disappear off behind you, and it crashes, and you hear the sound of like maybe like the bell tower just falls, uh kills a bunch of people. We'll see. Well, we don't know, but the town of Soltage turns into a fiery holocaust, and the last things that we see are the ship. She runs before the waves, just barely, because she's a small ship. She's a small one. She's very skinny, and she gets her way out through like between the narrows of the beach, excuse me, the shallow of the beach, and the nose, like the ram, the painted face ram of the front of the trireme. And underwater, we're seeing this happen. You're seeing the grinding of the underside of of the ship. The cannibals feeding in the city. The cultic. Keith, I'm trying to narrate. Shut up. I don't care if that's gold, no pun intended, but
Soltage is now a Hawthorne 2.0. Sorry.
Yeah.
no, not necessarily. We gotta have
Okay.
Hawthorne has to burn 3 times for it to be a 2.0. Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
So you guys, yeah, you're floundering there in the surf. If you can swim or not, that's really up to you
Okay.
guys.
Yep.
But
Are there any like smaller boats nearby that we can like maybe pull ourselves up on, or like rowboats or anything?
well,
Launches?
we're getting to that. Don't jump ahead of me.
Okay.
The last thing that we see, like I said, the fiery holocaust that was Soltage, and everything goes black.
Hmm.
You wake up. You don't know what time later. On a beach. Never seen this beach before. But the old woman is sitting in the sand about 12 feet to you guys' left. You guys are naked. And she's sitting there with her fish bones doing this oracle thing. You guys are naked as the day you're born. And it is a beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
Am I even missing the scroll?
Nope. The scroll is on the left of you.
Pick up the scroll at least. This thing won't leave me alone anyway.
But now you don't have pockets to put it in.
All right. He'll hold it gently in one hand because he doesn't want to crush that flower.
Right?
By all the gods above and below the sands, where the heck are we? That's literally what Shed says.
Verbatim. Like,
Yeah,
exactly
verbatim.
that's what he says.
Yes.
Yeah, Yarrow is just looking around trying to get his bearings.
It is a beautiful, picturesque beach. There's a pretty moderately wooded aisle beyond. If you look, say, you look in one direction, you see green spotted, basically sandbars as far as the eye can see. Um, and I mean, regarding signs of life, you can probably see fish in the shallows, but people, you're the only three that you see there.
And it's quiet besides waves and hearing the animals.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
There's no gulls. There's no gulls here, but
no roar of distant flames.
no.
Okay.
The nightmare that was the previous scene, wherever the hell that time was, is not here.
I don't
Shed
think we're soul ties anymore, Shed.
I don't think we are. He'll stand up, brush the sand off of him, and this is gonna sound a little weird, but actually, like, make sure there's not any in his butt crack because that's a horrible, horrible feeling.
Oh, it is. You woke up
and
on
then-
your back. It's
and then
terrible.
he's gonna look around for his clothing, see if there's
Nope.
anything he sees nearby that even okay.
Nope. You guys are naked.
He hesitantly closes his eyes, turns his head toward the babushka, and opens them. Is she clothed?
Yes.
Thank the gods.
She's still wearing what little awfulness she was before. She's oh my gosh. You guys don't know what species she is, but player knowledge, she's an Atean.
Okay.
She is wearing a blindfold that was once possibly undyed linen, but now it is a color that you don't want to see on fabric.
Okay.
Probably never washed.
Hmm.
She is wearing rags, seashells, beads. She's obviously her privates are covered up, but that's not saying that it's not helping. She looks like hell.
Yeah.
She's basically using a sea cucumber as a thing to keep her hair up. She just looks awful.
Okay.
Seaweed and other sorts of god awful nauticalness is all over this woman.
Okay.
And she has a remore fish stuck to her calf.
Wonderful. Quick question to the narrator.
Yep.
What is the cultural outlook on nudity among Yathites?
Among Yathites.
Is it a bad thing, or is it a something they don't really care about? Do they have communal bathing, or no, or
Well, amongst ladies, they're not supposed to show their ankles. Ladies are supposed to they're supposed to wear like jewelry or bracelets on, or excuse me, anklets to kind of like cover it up. um if you see a Yathite woman that is not wearing any anklets and she's showing her ankles, that girl is a hoe. Don't
okay?
that is a morally loose woman. You don't want anything about that. And regardless if she's hot or not. No. You'll lose face with everybody. A lot of Yathite prostitutes don't wear anything on their ankles, or they'll just wear the one just to be kind of like a little bit risque. For guys, it's you basically wear eyeliner and keep your beard trimmed.
Okay.
Facial hair isn't is considered dirty amongst the men, but as a culture, nudity really isn't much of an issue. But it's more a cover your skin because you're going to burn to death.
Okay.
Zabraxian will get you.
All right. So in that case, he'll walk towards her and he'll say, "Babushka, where are we? And where are my clothes?"
She does not reply. She is still doing her fishbone oracle there.
Okay. Can I do an esoteric knowledge to see if she's doing some kind of ritual, possibly,
Go
whether
for
I know
it.
what it means or not?
I mean, you don't really have to roll for it. You can
Okay,
basically
yeah.
guess she's doing a
Yeah.
ritual.
Okay. Yeah, so it's probably the probably reason why she's not responding is because she's mid ritual. Okay. I guess. I guess I'll look turn to Yarrow and say maybe we should look around and just see if there's anything here. Maybe our clothes are around a bend or something. I don't know why they would get watched up that way, but you never know. So,
Um, okay. Is there anything I can do to see if this is something screwing with my head? Because last thing we knew, I was in the water,
Right?
and now I'm naked. It doesn't seem natural.
No, of course it's not natural. Come on now.
Right. But is it something that's like, can I make a defense roll to see if it's like something affecting the mind?
You can make a corruption defense test if you like.
What is that again?
That would be level plus sight.
Level plus sight.
Not sight. Level plus spirit.
Oh, level plus spirit. Okay.
And like again, saves don't explode there.
Right.
Hopefully you can get this one.
That's gonna be a 14.
14. Okay. Yes, something unnatural happened to you. You take 2 points of corruption as opposed to 6. And yeah, this ain't Kansas anymore, Toto.
Because I have no idea what the hell is going on. I just know something's off.
Something is very wrong. You just don't know what it is. But this reality, this perception that you're having right now, is not an illusion. You know that for certain. This is
Not
real.
an illusion. Okay. Well, that's good
Yes.
at least. Because the last thing I want to do was die because I'm still drowning somewhere.
This is not one last minute hallucination before you die. No, 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 no,
Right?
no, 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 no.
Okay. Which way is the gayest pulling me? Or is it at all?
Due north. So, which means, okay, for example, Yarrow is he's a warrior mystic, right?
Right.
Make me a sight test.
Give me a second here. Does this one explode or is this considered a save?
Oh no, no, this is a skill test. This is not a save. Damn. After the session tonight, I'm going to do a deep dive and I'm going to differentiate all of those things.
Right.
This is what happens when you find a mechanical issue before the game and you gotta scramble like, wait, fuck, hang on. How do
Right.
I need to do this now?
25.
25. Okay. The spirits tell you that the Gaius is still pulling you, which means, for academic purposes, you're alive, you're in the realm of the living, and this is in fact real. All of these are good things.
Right? Just where the fuck are we?
But what we have learned is something horribly unnatural has happened to us.
Right. Honestly, with no other clues to go off of, because Babushka is off in her own realm, and no telling what she's doing. Yar's gonna look at Shed and be like, "I'm being pulled," and he will point due north, that direction. And you're muted again.
yeah, that button's not working. See, he nods. And he said, "Before you were being pulled, which direction?"
Which direction was Ra before?
Northwest.
Northwest. So a little bit over.
Okay. He's like, I don't know.
If it helps you get your for the character knowledge for the bearings, you're being pulled away from the center of the world.
Okay.
Outward, not inward.
Outward. Gotcha.
You're not going inward. You're going towards the outer world.
Okay. So, well, Shed will he'll just sort of shake his head and says, "I'm. What the heck happened to us? I
I
guess
don't
I need
know,
to at this point, probably
but
do a sight test on my own or a
Corruption first.
corruption test. Okay.
uh, as Shed's mulling over this, Yarrow will mention that he'll actually mention the fight in the cave with Ben and about how when Ben died, it kind of exploded everything, and then he was the one holding it. Fact that I still have it must be a good sign, I think.
I'd
Yes.
hope. 16, by the way, total.
Oh, nice. Yes. So, Shed Karu, he also realizes that something horribly unnatural happened, but he doesn't get any corruption from it. You noticed it, you see it, you feel it, but you're able to like stave off that horror.
Okay. Well, I do unnatural things myself a bit. Well, from what I'm told, the first thing you should always do if you're stranded on a desert island is find shelter and food, right?
Yeah. Suppose we should then.
I suppose so.
I don't know how we're gonna find food.
Yeah, Shed will start looking for driftwood and stuff like that that's dry, and he can start piling together somewhere for firewood. His immediate thought is do it under the shed. I guess there's a beach and then like trees behind it, backing it, or is it like a really thick
Palms.
palms?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
they're palms.
okay,
Palms and like beach grass.
okay. So he'll start piling up some stuff like beneath the palms because that's at least shade. So, and then he'll complain about his cook pots and stuff being gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Shed's doing that, Yarrow will go see if he can forage for something, anything. I want to make a wild lore.
You'll bring back one coconut.
One coconut. Well, it's better than nothing.
A single coconut.
Great hunter.
Right?
Snared the wild coconut. No lime though. Okay. Shed is going to be trying to inexpertly put this driftwood together that it might resemble a shelter and failing miserably because he has no wild lore.
There is no driftwood.
Ah, okay.
I
So
know.
He successfully missed all the driftwood.
Sand, grass, and useless ass shit here.
Wonderful.
These are the worst kind of islands for
being
shipwrecked
stranded.
mariners. Yeah. Yes.
Well, is it a big island? Can we see the other side? Is it like
Oh, yeah.
like a little small islet? Okay.
Going for driftwood, you walk the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. In that case, he's going to flop down in the shade of a palm tree and just sort of watch the babushka do her thing from the distance. He has a very dejected look on his face because, he misses his robes.
Right.
Meanwhile, Yar's thinking, "God damn it, I'm naked again already."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy it the last time.
Right. That old sea hag seems to do her thing. Well, the remora fish falls off of her and falls. Actually, well, falls. It flops down into the water and then swims off.
Could have been dinner, darn it.
Yep. High tide comes up and then goes out. She's been there for a few hours. The sun begins to set and she's still there. And she doesn't have a sunburn.
all that awful probably being, pretty good screen anyway.
Could be. Yeah. My question is, we saw her walking into the surf. How has she not been cleaned by the waves?
Uh-huh.
So as the day goes on, Shed says, "I was once told a tale by a sailor that I met in one of the seaside taverns there. Now, of course, a burned hulk of what it once was, but he claimed to have been marooned on an island once, and now once again, this man was deep into his cup, so I'm not sure if his tale was true or not, but he claimed that he survived by wrestling sharks out upon a reef and wrestling them ashore and eating them whole. But I don't know that that's even a thing that can be done."
I haven't seen any fins.
Neither have I. At this point, I mean, the last thing we ate was some mangoes. So,
We could
Probably
try to
getting a little
crack the
rumbly.
coconut.
we can try, I guess. How do you do that? Oh, wait, I might be able to try and do this. Looking for a rock. Did I see any rocks?
Good luck.
Okay.
If you want to dig for one, maybe you can find one.
Dig around a bit and see if I can't pull a rock up out of the ground. Probably not. That's a 4.
Nope. There are no rocks. This
Okay.
island sucks.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. I mean, how would you get into it? I don't know. How do you get into one of these things? He looks at Yarrow and sort of tilts his head.
Right. Yar would know how to, but he was kind of looking for a rock when you were. Though as they were talking, Yar would he'd have the brute strength to just rip off the outer husk and leaving just the actual nut. We need something to crack into this. Or else we can't do anything.
True. And we'll starve. Oh, what I wish would love for had just a bit of civilization, a small amount of civilization. He'll go down to the edge of the water looking for seashells. Are there any seashells washed up on the shore?
Yes. You'll
see if
find a very large pink conch shell.
Okay. I'll pick that up and walk it up and hand it to Yarrow. What do you think? Would this work?
Oh, don't use that. That's a pretty one.
Does it look pink to me too?
It does. Yes, it does also look pink to you.
Okay.
I was half expecting it to look green. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, he'll drop that off and he'll go back and see if he can't find another, like a bigger shell or a big, like a big clam shell or something like that. Or at least a big chunk of one. So. Any luck there?
Let's see. No.
Okay.
It really is the worst kind of island.
Yeah.
This island sucks.
And after that walk, he'll come back, sit down next to Yarrow, and look at this conch shell. Does it have a hole in one end it can blow into or anything?
It does.
He'll blow it.
It makes that nice shell horn sound.
Nice. We now at least have music.
I'm sorry, Wilson. I'm sorry. Castaway, the RPG.
He had a rock. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
right.
His island actually had a mountain and plenty of stone on it.
Yeah, and water and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So,
well, Shed, the way I see it, we got one of two choices. Either we sit here and probably die before Babushka gets done with what she's doing.
Maybe.
Or we start following this, whatever the heck it is, pulling me in a direction.
Well, let's follow it. See how far it goes.
And you guys just leave her there?
Well, we're on an island, so.
Right?
I don't think we're going to get very far.
and honestly, if we sit here for the next 12 hours watching, it makes for some pretty boring RPing. So.
Oh, I know. I get you.
No, it will. Like he would have waited to see if she had any change, but it's like, all right, she walked into the surf on her own. We're here and she's here.
Yep.
I don't think anything's gonna happen to us without her having some hand in it. So we might as well go explore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That's sound advice. Yep.
yeah, she's the common denominator. So it's like, all right, she'll make something happen when it happens.
So I guess
Right.
while we're going, Shed's going to look out over the water to see if maybe there's other islands nearby
Oh
or
yeah.
ships.
I told you before that
Okay.
it's the horizon is kind of dotted with these things.
Okay. Anything
You
fairly close that maybe look more habitable than this one? I don't, more rocky maybe.
uh not necessarily rocky that you could see, but it seems like you are on one point of a system of possibly wooded sandbars.
Hmm. Okay.
So you could possibly pick a direction and
Yeah.
walk
So walking. Okay.
for quite some time, maybe.
Hmm. Huh. Well, what do you think, Yarrow? Should we take our chances and start walking, or I mean, for all we know, there could be cannibals out there, but I am a tasty snack. But at the same time, if all we have here is this one coconut, we won't last long here anyway.
Yara will kind of look up at the sky and see, where the sun is now. And we've been here long enough that I get the feeling if there were cannibals close by, we would have been put upon already.
That's sound advice. You have had more experience with gambles than I have. So,
Don't
well,
remind me.
I mean, I'm relying on your experience, friend. You relied on mine in the city. I'm now not in the city. I'm very much relying on yours now.
But yeah. So yeah, Yarrow is still want to go north because he's going to follow that Gaius. But if Shed wants to go in a different direction, he won't hesitate.
I'll follow you at this point. If north it is, and we can get north, then north it is. Or sorry, rimward, right?
Yeah, rimward, yes.
Yeah. So, hey, I think you did say earlier the sun was beginning to set.
Yes, we're getting close to late afternoon, beginning of dusk.
Okay. Do you think we should wait till tomorrow to try this, or
let's go out a little bit, then we can head back. We don't see anything in the first little bit here.
Okay. Shed's going to be basically in Yarrow's footprints, a few steps behind, keeping his eyes open.
Well, going north, you guys will get to the edge of your island. Your island is connected to another isle, slightly smaller, has a few trees on it. By few, I mean like 4 or 5.
Okay.
It's separated by shallow water that's maybe about calf deep.
Okay.
You could walk across it to get to the island. Should you wish to keep going, you basically isle hop for several hours until the sun disappears. And it seems that possibly in ages past, this was obviously above the sea line, and possibly could have been the peaks of an ancient mountain range. Don't quite know, but this goes on as far as the eye can see.
And we don't see anything that looks remotely more hospitable.
No, you guys are out in the wilderness.
Any better food sources along the way, or at least a rock, maybe?
A rock to crack open this coconut.
Fine, I'll give you guys a rock. You found a few more coconuts there.
Oh, there we go.
You'll have for regarding foraging, you could probably fish, but I don't know how comfortable you guys feel about fishing with your hands. But with your short walk, you can likely find at least a small supply of sustenance now that you have the ability to open said coconuts.
Right.
But we don't find any driftwood at all anywhere along the way either.
No, driftwood assumes that there are shipwrecks, whereas there's something to have a shipwreck upon here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
As far as you guys are aware, you guys are on a stretch of uncharted sandbars
Right.
somewhere off in the sea, somewhere.
So I'll look at Shed. Do we keep going around or do we go back to Babushka and wait till the morning? We have enough to at least survive tonight. It's just going to be a really rotten sleep.
Okay. I have a sneaking suspicion that she is the reason we're here, though I can't point to a specific, but the fact that we're here and she is here to me cannot be a coincidence. I would be loath to stay too far away and then her decide to take her leave and leave us stranded here for the rest of our lives. Which I hazard to guess would not be very long, but still. So I think we should go back to her.
Okay.
So we'll take our trek back. Is the place stunningly beautiful at night as well?
I would assume so.
Well, look up and
of course.
Look up and see a faint green dot of a wandering star across the sky. So
Perhaps.
We're not in the doldrums. At least I hope we're not.
Hope not, but we'll see.
Yara will actually have Shed pile up as many coconuts as we're able to find into his arms.
Okay.
And he'll give Shed the rock.
Okay. I will dutifully carry them as much as possible. So
we're gonna say you guys have 4 coconuts so far.
All right. So did I by chance retrieve a palm frond to act as like a platter to help hold them?
If you'd like, sure.
Okay. So he has this idea of carrying these things in his palm frond almost like a basket, but so okay.
Yeah, so we'll head back to Babushka and drink a little so we don't completely rot away. And
yeah, we're probably parched at this point, I'm willing to bet.
Oh yeah, it's not pleasant. It's absolutely not pleasant at all.
Yeah. So
but she is nowhere in evidence.
Wonderful. Can we find the place where she was?
Yes. Where her bony little grandma ass was actually sitting in the sand. According to the footprints, she walked off into the surf.
Of course. Well,
can we go back into it?
We can walk out and see what happens. So
that's what happened the first time, anyway.
We'll follow her footsteps, out to as far as we can.
Yeah. You follow it out until the water gets to about your chin.
Okay. Nothing happens, I'm assuming, right?
Not that you can tell.
Okay. Yeah, she left us.
Yara goes underwater just to double check. Just sinks to his ass in the water.
She's out there in 30-some foot deep water, just walking around on the bottom of the seabed there.
Yara's gonna pop back up and be like, "You need to see that."
Okay, I'll duck my head under the water and look.
I know she's got a school of fish around her too.
Oh. Okay, esoteric knowledge. Just to see if I actually know anything at all. Probably not a 14.
Yeah. Obviously she's using magic.
Yeah. Pop up. She's using magic.
Nothing I ever seen
Oh, I
before.
know. I don't know. Maybe it's some priestly thing. Probably this sea is probably taking care of her. I mean, she was a priestess of the silent of the crushing depth, so she's probably very much at home here. This may be where she's from. We have no idea.
When we see her underwater, she just like, is she walking towards something or is she just kind of like pacing around?
Uh, she's kind of pacing in kind of a general area, and the fish are following her. And probably it looks like the fish are eating shit off of her.
Probably cleaning her up.
Yeah, maybe.
Or adding more to her. You
Right.
never know. So, okay, I guess we should probably go back to the beach because I'm not going to be able to stay here all night. I definitely can't do that.
Yara will actually swim out to where he's above her and then will actually swim down.
You're gonna swim down to her. All right. And get yourself down there.
Any reaction whatsoever. Like he will purposely put her in her path.
She seems like she's kind of in a trance.
Okay, so she's still doing the ritual stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Seemingly.
He'll go back up and he'll go back to the shore with Shed.
Yeah, Shed will go back up and guard our coconuts.
Right? It's like she's walking around like dead to the world still.
She's probably still in some kind of trance or ritual. Then I don't know much about these priestly types. They're quite odd. I just know a few tricks, but well, if one would call them such. Hmm. But I suppose we should eat this food we have here, and then, what say you? Do you want to each of us spend time sleeping while the other one keeps an eye out in case she comes back out of the water, or something odd happens?
That would probably be best if we can even sleep tonight.
We can try.
Well, you try first. I'll stay up.
Okay, I will. I definitely will attempt to. He'll try to find a comfortable place against a palm tree, probably,
Right.
and see if he can lean up against it and try to get some sleep.
Yara will give it, and I can actually burn a spell point thing for this. Yara will send a prayer to a spirit for the endurance to carry through the night.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to use a spell point for that, go for it.
So that's going to be a 12 spell check.
Nice. Yeah, your spell goes off. It takes a few moments, but the spirits that you commune with that are bound to you invigorate you there, and you'll get whatever bonus that you get for that aspect there for you.
So it's going to be a conditioning bonus because I figured staying up, I'm going to need that.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll take first watch. I don't know when they're going to swap off, but he'll take first watch.
Okay. Basically, whenever you wake me up. So
Castaway, the RPG.
yes.
So sometime around about when Yarrow is waking you up before he goes to bed, this sea hag comes back. She just walks out of the surf sometime in the middle of the night, and you see her there in the moonlight, which is really creepy. And she draws that in the sand.
Okay. Esoteric knowledge. Oh, got an 8. That is going to be for esoteric knowledge a 26.
You're not familiar with this kind of magic.
Oh, well, darn.
Um,
But I know
Even
I'm
if I was,
not
I got
familiar
an
with it.
8.
Yeah. Yeah, I just say this kind of magic, but I'm not familiar with it.
so she draws this sign in the sand, and there she sits. She meditates over it for a few moments, and a blue light appears in the center of the symbol there of the star. And once this light expands to almost a floor length mirror, she gets up and she walks into the light.
I'll look at Yarrow. And Shed's
Probably
going
better
to
than here.
jump up and run toward it.
Okay.
See if we can get through this light.
Oh, well, once you get there, make me a I'm gonna need a meditation test from you guys.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
actually pretty good at
Or
this.
meditation save, I should say.
Okay. Okay. That's a 17 for me. No exploding, right, on this?
Yeah, those don't
Yeah.
explode.
Okay, 17.
I
Okay.
got a 16.
All right, then. I suppose you guys step through the light and you are on a different beach, and she is walking off into a palm jungle there.
Oh, maybe better. But we're not where we were. I guess.
Is
Now
the
we know how we
gaze
got
still
here.
pointing me rimward?
Is actually the Gaius is pointing you in the opposite direction now. Or pulling you in the opposite direction.
Oh. That wants me to go the other way.
Inland or out to sea?
Out to sea.
Huh.
Or you can go back to the light.
Does it feel stronger here? I'll ask.
What feels stronger?
I'll
I
ask
think you're
Yar,
talking about that pool.
does your pull feel stronger here?
I think
Or
the pool has
different?
always been the same strength since I just picked it up.
Okay.
Yep.
At least that's been my assumption.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't know, but taking a shot in the dark, and maybe if you're closer, it's stronger or not.
No. Same feel. But I'm more inclined to follow her right now because she seems to know what she's doing.
Yeah,
Look,
no, she's left you guys. She's somewhere in the jungle now.
Well, there's jungle here versus nothing there, so things may eat us here, but we can find things for us to eat as well.
Perhaps.
So I'll follow you and keep an eye out, holding one coconut like a freaking rock. Coconut in one hand, conch shell in the other.
Do you guys have grades in meditation?
Yes,
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
that's one of my best skills, actually. I am playing an enchanter, of course. I've got meditation and danger sense.
All right. How do you guys
just
wish
a
to
bit.
proceed?
Follow her into the jungle, I suppose.
Well, we probably don't know where. Do we see any
Now,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
You guys are looking around, and she's already disappeared in the jungle. You don't see her anymore.
right. What I was saying, do we see any God damn it, continue to work. Anything to track her by, like push down fronds or grass or footprints in the sand.
No, it
Okay.
seems like she's just melted out there somewhere.
Well,
Blow your conch shell again.
okay, he'll blow his conch shell.
Maybe let her know that let her know that we're here.
Okay.
We're Worth a try.
I don't know. I
We're,
got nothing else to do.
well, I'm not gonna waste too much time on the beach. I mean, nothing else. She went generally that way. So, now, is there any like lights on the horizon, or like anything I can see that might look like a civilization nearby?
No.
Okay. Oh, well,
Light here is the moon, which is in a different position, by the way,
okay.
and the starlight.
Okay. Well, I suppose we can just wander our way into the jungle and see if we can find a way out eventually, or lose ourselves. Basically, it's a choice of die in the ocean, die in the jungle, or stay here and die on the beach. So, at least in the jungle, we may have a chance.
Right. Okay. Let's see if we can find Babushka.
Yeah, we'll head in the jungle in the general direction we think she may have went, I guess. So,
Well, proceeding into the jungle there. This it's pretty clear with signs that this is old wood, or really possibly untouched by man, primordial jungle here.
okay.
Because it gets thick very quickly. You travel for a few hours into the night as the moon finally sets and the first blush of dawn comes to you. When dawn, transforms into morning, the environment wakes up. The typical sounds of an inhabited jungle. I say inhabited, I mean by life comes to you. She is nowhere to be seen. How she's managed to elude you, you have no idea. But she's an old woman. How the hell can she disappear that damn creepy that quickly? It's very creepy, terrible. There's something about her that seems to draw you in, but also repulse you with her. She stinks of sorcery. It's
Yeah.
You don't need a save. You don't. There's something about her that is otherworldly, or maybe something that that reeks of the darkness there. Unfortunately, she's the only other form of life that you're comfortable interacting with here. But like I said, she's gone. You travel into the jungle. You don't know how far you have gone. You don't know where the path is anymore. But there's a clearing, maybe like an old forest road here.
Okay.
It's by road, I mean wheel ruts in the jungle. There's no ditch. It's not built up. It's basically a wide deer path, but deer do not inhabit a jungle.
At least it's a sign of civilization of some type.
Yeah, a sentient people, quote, built a road, unquote.
She had to look at Yarrow and say, "There's usually a road goes from one place to another, so either end there's something."
Which way is the Gaius pulling me?
Still back to the sea.
Has that actual like directional on like a compass point changed, or is it still just like straight at my back?
South.
Okay. I was trying to see if we got turned around and we're facing like a different direction now, basically.
Nope. As far as you're aware, it's the only, compass-like thing that you have is that Gaius, and you've gone in a straight line.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. See if we can find something, or we can find her.
Yep. Okay. Now look and see if there's any markings on the trees along the sides of this thing, like that where someone may have marked it.
What do you mean by mark?
Like a blaze. Like you might have a blaze on one side of a tree saying, like the locals may say, if you see the blaze, you're heading toward home. If you don't, you're going toward wherever else you're going.
No,
Maybe.
nothing like that. No, no.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just pick which direction you want to go, left or right, I guess. Or is it left or right, or is it like we find ourselves going parallel to it?
It's I suppose yeah, you guys are kind of going parallel to it. I see the right hand side goes at an angle back kind of kitty corner in the direction of the coastline, and the left goes deeper into the woods. So it's you got an angle there.
Okay.
I just keep going forward then.
Okay. We'll do that.
Which is quote technically left, but going deeper inland.
Yep. Yep. See where it leads. You know, follow the road. See if there's anything on the road that might be useful. You can find to pick up discarded stuff, or a nice straight stick about 5 feet long. So.
So you travel for a few more hours. It's just before midday sun, we'll say, and you hear a low humming. A low humming. There's really no other way to describe it with the cultural context that you guys would have. That low humming is coming from the sky, and it's getting louder, seeming getting closer.
Maybe we should hide. I'll look at Yarrow. Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know what's around.
Yeah. 6, 7.
Is there anything to hide behind? Like, can we duck back into the jungle?
Oh yeah, you guys can jump duck back into the jungle perfectly fine.
That's 18 for me.
Are you using your smuggle?
Yeah, I'll use my smuggle to help him cover him too.
Okay.
Get behind me.
With that,
17.
All right.
Okay.
So you see what resembles an enormous silvery bird pass over you above the canopy of the palms. The light hits it, it shimmers, and it just kind of roars past you guys.
Have you ever seen the like?
$24 on a wild lord. Do you know if I even know what that thing could be?
That is not an animal.
Mm.
Animals do not make those sounds.
Whatever it is, not natural.
I've never heard the like of such a thing. I mean, as a child, I was told tales of great beasts that lived in the ocean, but never in the sky, unless we're in some odd realm below the seas, and that was some great swimming beast above us. But well, was it heading the direction we're heading?
Oh yeah, oh it is.
Let's sort of keep our wits about us, but more cautiously head that way, because I don't think a coconut and a conch shell would do much against that.
Yeah, I guess we'll.
Yeah, we'll.
Albeit carefully, we'll keep going forward.
All right, so. All right, here, let me see if I can find something for you.
I'm assuming it's still dense, thick, and we can't really do much with it in what we're walking through.
Not really, no. Just a lot of elephant's earring palms. You walk for a couple more hours, and this is around about where your exhaustion would set in, your first stage of exhaustion. You have not eaten much, and you've not slept much. But you see above above the canopy the white towers, these minarets of a city, and the smells of a vast city seem to again begin to materialize here for you. Um, the sights of birds flying around the many towers and the minarets there. There is an enormous silver bird-shaped thing hovering above the city. The that odd acrid smell of something. The voices of many tongues, many different peoples. All of these begin to come upon you. Um, the jungle starts to kind of it starts to thin out. This road becomes wider. This road becomes paved now, and you round a bend and you look down. It seems like you're from like an inner, kind of like an inland vantage point up on a ridge, and you're looking down on um, a portion of the city that has emerald green uh, tiled roofs, almost like old Hellenistic buildings that have like terracotta tile uh, roofs instead of that terracotta color. Similar style, yes, but they're emerald green. Um, Minarets that seem more Arabic in nature. There's a wall beneath you. Seagulls flock overhead. There's an extensive harbor here, and throngs upon throngs upon throngs of people here. You find yourselves on the edge of an enormous city, looking down over a portion of it from a bluff.
Does this road continue down the bluff like switchbacks or
Kinda. This is
kinda?
not a
Okay.
traditional way to get into the town, but you
Okay.
can tell that there's more of a highway that it kind of links up to. It now seeing, you're like, oh well, this is just a uh excuse me, like a sheep herd's pass to get his sheep and goats up into the mountain and down.
Okay. Finally, civilization.
You've gone from
But
nothing to a lot of it.
yes,
And we're naked.
and we're naked. We will
Exactly.
definitely stand out.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Is the gay still pulling me back to where we came from?
Yes, actually.
okay.
And you see from here, I'm assuming you're going to start making your descent.
I think I want to look around a little more and see, is there any part of the town outside of the city walls, or is it all contained within the city?
No, it's all
Okay.
within a wall.
All within the walls. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So no, like, beggars. Yeah.
Hell no.
Encampment.
No.
Okay. Um, from this vantage point, can we see a gate?
Yes. It's about a few 100 feet below you.
Okay. Ooh. Well,
You want to jump from here?
no. We'll have to actually take the way down. I was
Okay.
just looking to see if we said there was like if we're gonna feel the way to like get somewhere sort of hidden without having to go through a gate, but I guess not.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. All right. Um, I guess we start making our descent. What do you think, Yar? You want to ask any questions about it or anything, or?
We don't have anything we can do but go down and hope we don't get arrested, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that is true. So yeah, I guess we'll make our way down this track as best we can.
Okay. We'll actually fast forward through it.
Mhm.
Now you are down at the bottom of this this bluff here. You find yourselves amongst a throng of individuals moving towards a gate. People of every stripe and color here.
Okay.
There are some individuals here that are colored or dressed or garbed in a fashion that are completely alien to you. You've never seen these people before.
Okay.
There are Yathites. There are those white foreigners. There is uh, a species of people that have a gray blue skin that have a kind of a mauve or kind of a deep red, almost like a tiger stripe pattern along their skin. And sometimes their hair is black, sometimes it is silver. And all of these people are garbed in what would seem to be like common folk. And a couple of these people see that you are naked, and a few of them just kind of cock their eyebrows at you, but they're not necessarily disturbed by your nudity here. There are other beings and or species of people here that maybe more or less revealing than yourselves, but a lot of them pay you no heed. There is a troop of guards at the gate that are garbed in a shining silvery metal here. They are armed with pole arms that have very stylized, waving, almost leaf blade like blades on them, and they wear emerald green capes, similar to like the rooftop color.
Shed will actually let out a sigh of relief and say, at least they're not wearing that black metal. I have expected to be one of their settlements, or maybe where they come from.
Oh, you
I
spoke
guess.
too soon, Keith. There are foreigners here. These black garbed individuals.
Yeah, but they're not guards. That's the main thing I was thinking. They're not the guards guarding the door, guarding the gate.
No, you do see a trio of those black-haired foreigners that are wearing coats of ebon, that are speaking with a couple of these guards at the gate, and they're allowed to pass through. It seems like these guards are processing the people.
Wonderful. You said there's Yethites in the crowd, right?
A few of them.
I'll walk over to one and say, "Pardon me, but we have found ourselves shipwrecked here. Where are we?"
The woman you're speaking to kind of looks you up and down, and she goes, "You're oddly dressed for this kind of occasion."
Yes, I am, because I wasn't expected to be here. My invitation got lost in my shipwreck, unfortunately. I'll smile at her broadly. I am pretty.
She takes a step back from you.
I do apologize if I offended, ma'am. I am truly befuzzled as to where I currently am.
Well, this is your Tambrathale.
I've heard that name before. I'll look at Yarrow, sort of raise my eyebrows. Interesting. Might you know what these guards are checking for as we're going in?
They're processing tradesmen and travelers alike. Well, they always do this.
Well, thank you very much for your kindness, ma'am. And he'll sort of step back, and
I don't think they're going to let you in where dressed like that.
I fear they will not. Where would someone be able to acquire decent clothing? Is there someone somewhere out here I might be able to trade with, or maybe hire on to? I'm actually quite good at what I do.
What is it that you do? Besides walk around naked like a madman.
Well, my friend Yaro here is quite the woodsman. And I'm a musician. I'm a bit of a musician myself, just a bit. Not the best, with what little instruments I happen to have currently.
So you're very good at what you do, but you don't do very much at all. So what do you do?
You have me at you have figured me out, ma'am.
She just rolls her eyes at you and walks away.
Okay. He'll step back and Yaro, I don't know if we're gonna get in here or not. What do you think?
Worst thing they're going to do is they're lock us up or tell us to go away. Best thing they do is they tell us where to get clothes and what the hell's going on.
That's a
How the
possibility.
hell did we get here already?
I don't know. That babushka.
Well, there's a shrine.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure at least when we get a chance to actually sacrifice something to the crushing depths, and thanks, we will.
You still got a coconut, right?
I still also have some conch shell too. So lead the way, my friend. I will watch your back in this throng. At least someone steal something from you.
Right. Yeah, Yarrow will get in line. I mean, he's quite handsome himself, but he'll ignore any stares of either one or include, and he'll ignore any stares.
Yeah,
Fair. We're here for business. Fuck these people.
I'll smile at them as they look at me.
The incredulous stares. He'd ignore those.
There you go. These guards are very efficient processing the people. There seems to be a clerk of some kind who's wearing an emerald robe. This guy also looks stereotypically like he would be a magician, but maybe he's just a finely dressed individual with a scroll. We don't know. But one of the guards is wearing, it looks like a coat of mail that's made out of the same silvery metal instead of a breastplate, and the halberds that the guards are here. There's actually 30 of them. Actually, 30 of these so armed guards at this gate, and one individual seems to be more heavily plumed than the others, more decorated, possibly a gate captain of some kind. The younger man will say, we assume he's a man. He looks human enough. Follows this clerk around, and the gate captain make up their trio, and they go from a group of people to group of people. They go from cart to cart. They inspect everything in there. They listen to an explanation and their business, and they're allowed to pass through. And actually quite efficient, these guys. And the two of you are next. And so the young man just kind of looks at the two of you, with his eyes go real wide, and he just looks down. He kind of blushes a little bit, and he's like, oh boy, all right. And the clerk cocks an eyebrow, and he goes, names, gentlemen. His accent, he just picked Yathite because Shedkur is the one who's leading here. His accent is weird.
Yeah, I'd say Shedkaru.
Yara, Vaslu.
What brings you to our fair city of Yatamrathale? Besides the need of clothes, and some of the guards chuckle.
It is very much a need that we do wish to fulfill. I hesitate to say it, but the gods.
Which
We
gods?
we believe. Would you say the crushing depths, Yarrow?
I believe so.
We found ourselves on your shores, having followed a babushka who had been at one point. We
What
know
is a
a
babushka?
an older lady. We believe,
Elderly.
yeah, an elderly lady. Yes,
All right.
and we followed her through a doorway of light and found ourselves here.
He cocks an eyebrow at you. A door of light.
That is what it seemed to be at the time. Yes, I know this sounds outlandish, but it sounds the same to me coming out of my own mouth.
And you walked through this light with no clothes.
We were trying to flee an invasion, jumped into the harbor trying to get to a ship, lost consciousness. I feared we may have drowned, and found ourselves as such as you see us before upon a beach of a small island with nothing on it except a conch shell. I hold it up, and coconuts. The babushka went out into the waves, came back, did some kind of thing. A doorway of light appeared. She walked through. So, having no better option, myself and my friend Yarrow followed through and found ourselves here. I assure you, we began our journey fully clothed.
Interesting.
Very.
Well, it's not that Ytambrathale is a stranger to any kind of sorcery. There is plenty of odd or strange things here that you'll find, but you might wish to clothe yourselves.
We very well wish to clothe ourselves. We just must find the means to do so.
How long do you wish to stay here?
What say you, Yarrow? Not long, I'm assuming.
No, not long at all. Get our bearings, and I still gotta get the raw.
Yes.
Ra is a short trip by boat from here, though we don't have many visitors from Ra. Ra does not know that we are here, and we are at war with that nation.
That is, we do not by chance we ourselves do not find ourselves at war with you or Ra at the moment. We are just passing through and offer no ill will to anyone.
I see you're of the mainland.
Yes.
Are you sure you're not a spy?
I'll look at Yarrow and look at myself, look down, and I'll say, sir, if I am a spy, I'm the worst one that's ever lived.
Or one with an excellent excuse?
Unless the well, I am most assuredly not a spy, nor is Yarrow. I am a traitor normally, and Yarrow is my bondsman. He protects me normally.
He's not a slave.
No, he is not a slave. He's a freeman.
All right.
So, but in fact, he's just recently made our acquaintance. Not what 2-3 nights before.
Yes. Cannibals make for horrible captors.
Yes, they are horrible things. You don't have those here, do you?
You will not find cannibals in Ytambrathale.
Thank all the gods above and below the sands. We all we wish is just to find some place where we might be able to find some employment, be able to acquire some clothing and maybe a small amount of food. Is there a place we could possibly do that within your fair city?
I'm sure that we can find something. Wait to the side here. I will come and speak to you shortly. And
Yes,
he
sir.
points to like a door that's like just inside the like it. Okay, so it's a gatehouse.
Mhm.
Like inside between the two portcullises, you got the outer one, you got the inner one, and there's a doorway inside. You guys are escorted through that doorway and told to sit down.
Basically, get us out of the public eye to avoid the spectacle.
Basically. And
Okay.
you're also holding up his line.
Yeah.
Obviously, scoot aside, get in this nice little, I'm assumed, shaded area, which we haven't experienced in a while, and
Right?
take a seat. And I will very kindly ask one of the guards, do you by chance have any water? Just a small amount.
One of the guards, again clad in a silvery breastplate, goes off into another room, comes back with a clay ewer and two clay earthenware glasses, and he pours you two glasses of water there, and
Okay.
then leaves the ewer on a side table.
Okay. Thank him kindly, and I'm going to drink.
Uh, perhaps you're starving. Perhaps you are just parched. But the water here is cleaner than anywhere else in the world.
It's very sweet, I'm sure.
Oh, very.
Sweetest water that ever passed my lips.
The younger man in the silver mailed shirt comes back in, and you do catch a glimpse of him. He's actually a half fae of some kind. He looks like he is like one of his parents could probably have been a nymph of some kind.
Hmm.
His skin has kind of like a light gray cast to it. He would technically still be, you mean earthwise, he would still technically be considered Caucasian, but he has a gray tint to him. Not like gray as in ashy or like deathly, but kind of a stone coloring to him. His eyes are silver, and his hair is pulled back in a smartly braided ponytail that goes to about his shoulder blades and is held together with a gold ring at the bottom with an emerald set in the in the ring. He has an emerald sash with an embroidered kind of looks like a griffin wing type motif along the hem. And he comes in, he says the clerk will come in and see you shortly.
Thank you kindly, Lord. Thank you very kindly, Lord.
I I am not a lord.
Then you are and this place is a very, well, very wealthy city.
The Tambrathale is the most wealthy of cities. It is the place where all doors meet.
And the
all
most
roads cross.
And it has the most gracious of citizens. Thank you very much.
He takes a position kind of like opposite the door, and the clerk comes in, and he says a few words in a language to the younger man, the half fae, and he he disappears into that side room the other guard was in, and he comes out with a pair of linen tunics, sandals, trousers, and a pair of emerald green like sash belts. And these are, they're not fine clothes, but they're clearly clothes that would be of like a tradesman of the city, so to speak.
I will stand and bow to him and say thank you very much. What do I owe you for such fancy or for such fine gifts?
Your secrecy.
That is a currency that I can pay in.
They will begin to process you guys. We're not going to go through the entire scene because that would be a session recap in and of itself. And we're not going to do that. You guys would be questioned and interrogated to possibly the limit of your knowledge about how you guys met. More or less, Yaro's history would go back farther in his career as an enforcer on the ship and a bodyguard and such like. It would probably come out, and it's really up to Shed, depending on how deceitful he wants to be, if that he shares or not he's a smuggler. Probably would say more along the lines of the fact that he's a sailor of some kind.
Yeah, sailor and tradesman, a person who, yes, a guide, possibly even.
They have their ways of finding out that you are an enchanter.
Okay.
You don't know how, but they do.
Okay.
They will find out that you are a polytheist. They'll find out that Yarrow is a what would you call that, Mike? He is a whale totem mystic, is he?
Yes, his spirit totem is of the whale, so he is a mystic of the whale.
What kind of whale? It really doesn't matter, but this is more for his benefit.
We didn't go into detail what kind might be found, actually.
Humpback whales, blue whales, baleen or cetacean whales.
What would the stories have been? I'm assuming the stories would have been like the giant, like blue whales, or even like sperm whale size things.
Like, oh yeah. Well, the crushing
probably a
depths
blue whale
is a his whale, quote unquote, his whale avatar form is basically a bright red. It's a blue whale, but it's a red blue whale.
Right.
The reason why it's red is because where there is no sunlight towards the bottom of the ocean, red is completely invisible.
Because that's not terrifying at all.
Oh yeah, no. Have this enormous thing pass through the darkness completely fucking unseen. Oh, absolutely. But
like
so
dealing with the bullet.
So
No,
basically, you could probably
be a blue whale then,
or the smaller kid sister, the minke whale. Those are actually kind of adorable, but they're, so basically you'd say, oh, blue whale totem mystic. They know these things about you. They have their ways of finding out. You probably don't like their ways of finding out, but they don't actually harm you. They just question you. And
Yarrow also doesn't hide it. So unlike Shed, who might try to hide being an enchanter, Yarrow, if they say, do you have any abilities? But yeah, I call upon the whale's endurance. Kind of straightforward.
Okay, excellent. You are given, basically, you're both given a dagger that is mostly a self-defense item. They tell you that within the city, a weapon that is longer than your forearm is illegal. And if you are caught with a weapon that is longer than your forearm and you're not A, a member of the watch, B, a mercenary that is employed by the city, or C, part of the military, or the merchant tradesmen from other worlds, they use those terms, those other worlds that are allowed here by writ and law. If you are not one of those four things, they will summarily execute you in the street. No questions asked. You do not get a trial. You broke the law.
One question of clarification: what is the ruling upon walking sticks?
If you're an elderly man and require a cane, it can be no longer than your leg.
Understood. Thank you. I wish no offense by that. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't accidentally break the law.
So. It's you guys are kind of given a very a very tight treatise on the laws of Vitambrathale. Their streets are very clean. This is a
Good.
very nice place to live. But there's it is reminded to you that there is some high strangeness here. If you are not comfortable with the strange or the otherworldly, then you are basically told to leave. These things are accepted here.
It, thanks him very much. And I say, well, things can't get much stranger than a. Now look up at where this thing in the air is. Than that, I've never seen such a thing.
The silver bird has already landed.
Well, silver birds are a very odd thing, but he'll, never seen it. It's like, I guess that
if
as
you
soon
go
as
down to the docks, you can find them.
I do is I look over at Yarrow, and basically as soon as we're allowed to leave and go into town, I'm sure we will be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are given a writ, a written document from the clerk that gives you not 7 days. It gives you a chain's worth of time to find employment or to find lodging. If you do not have those things, you'll basically be deported. And if they cannot find you, like you're running from the law, you are subject to being executed as well. You are given a red clay tablet that lets you pass through the gates. And if you present the writ with the tablet, that's obviously got raised reliefs in a language that you don't speak or you can't read either. You're supposed to present these to a possible employer or possibly to a ship that gives you berth to leave, and they'll allow you to leave. So they're giving you the ability to move, but you don't have forever. If you find a permanent residence, you're supposed to come back and basically turn your paperwork over, and they will give you essentially citizenship, and then you will be put specifically to work. More than likely, it's advised to you that they're going to turn you both into artisans for the city.
Nod and thank them profusely for their assistance, and I guess we'll take our leave. Start the process of finding a place to stay at least, and get some food.
Food, definitely.
Yeah. So, and once we're away from the gate, I'm gonna look at Yarrow and I'll say those are the nicest gate guards I've ever experienced.
Forceful, but they're nice about it.
It's a lot different from Soul Ties, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yes. Yeah, not a not a port master among them, I'm sure. So, I wonder what context was the Let's look around so we can find Sir. I mean, if nothing else, we can go down to the docks and see if we can help with some ships or something, maybe. That worked wonderful last time.
Oh, yeah. One of us did all the work.
Well, we both did work in our own way. I did get you clothing and food, did I not?
This is true.
So,
yeah, let's go.
So, all right. So I'm assuming this place looks fairly exotic to our eyes, I would assume, right?
Very.
Okay.
Extremely so. You've never seen anything like this.
Okay.
I tell you what, they have proper post and lintel doorways.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh,
that is, yeah.
These people know what they're doing.
So are the buildings made of stone, wood, or can we tell?
Yes.
Okay.
In some places wood, in some places stone.
Okay.
And in some places, the very opulent buildings are made of marble.
Ooh. I've heard of people building with those.
And the stones actually fit together in such a way where it's almost a sheer face.
Wow. So should we ask around, I guess, do you think, Yarrow, for like where the local where the local bazaar might be, the
Either the bazaar or we'll go
market?
down to the docks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
We
let's
gotta find
we gotta
work
find
and we gotta find food.
work, food, and a place to stay. I guess the docks would go first, then.
So the closer you get to the docks, the more
Mhm.
faces you see. And again, every stripe and color of people here. A wave of dysmorphia hits you
Okay.
because you don't see any. Well, Yarrow does not see any star nomads at all. He's
Mhm.
probably the darkest colored person there. Um, and Shed, you kind of like you kind of think you see a Yathite from here to here and there, but they're they may be your people, but it's pretty clear they're not your people anymore.
Right. And having been from a society where the majority were Yathites, this is probably a bit daunting.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not comfortable anymore. Uh,
and yeah, do I
go for
hear
it.
any of the languages I'm familiar with? Any Yath or Thoranean?
Uh, if you do, and I'm saying if you do, they're spoken with accents that again are
Don't
wrong.
don't feel right. Okay. I think to myself back to being in the office and seeing the map. Do I get the sense that this place is a long way away from Soltage?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Okay, so
you may as well be on another planet right now.
Yara, we seem to have crossed a vast ocean in a day or
Very
so. I
quickly.
mean, we're probably here before any possible refugees from Soltage, if you know what I mean.
Do you think they might have had something to do with this? The
I doubt it.
acquirer or the helper?
I doubt it. I've never heard of the helper being that helpful, if you will. Not for free.
Yes, but even the acquirer seemed surprised by the news we gave them.
Yes.
That warrants a exceptional thing in return, I would assume, with them.
You would think.
Though
Possibly.
that does make Yarrow stop and think. Before going to the docks, he's actually going to see if he can find a temple shrine or whatnot.
Okay.
I'm gonna make an architecture reference here.
Okay.
There is a place in Italy. Um, I believe it's in Rome, and it's essentially an enormous temple with an oculus in the center.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
that is, I've seen pictures of it. It's a square building, but like the one chamber inside is circular. You see something very similar to this building, and like you can see from because there's no actual doorway, there's no wooden doors, it's just this big ass arch, and you can see there's like there's like 2 dozen niches in the walls in this enormous arc, and there's statues of each of these gods, and you're actually coincidentally you're actually walking past it as you see this, and you can hear the resounding reverence of this place, basically from blocks away. You can feel it, and
Mhm.
again that low humming from the sky turns into a loud drone that goes above you, and you guys, of course, you're going to duck and be like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?"
Mhm.
But people here just walk like this is normal.
Right.
Maybe like
No.
one or two people will actually like look and watch the thing fly overhead and then land.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Shed's gonna watch it with his mouth hanging open. The fact that it's in the air and it's not crashing to the ground is. I mean, does it have huge flapping wings or anything?
It's not flapping, no.
Okay, he has. Yeah, he's just marveling at what this thing is. What magic might hold it up? So this once it passes this big temple that's there, it appears to be a temple. Do we recognize any of the statues?
Not from outside, no.
Shall Shall we go in, Yarrow? Look and see.
I suppose we should.
Okay.
So, going inside, immediately to your right is the statue of a nude woman that is painted red, holding a battle axe in one hand and a polearm in the other. She is demurely dressed in actually what looks like ruby red silks. It's a statue of a nude woman, but they threw like actual silk over the top of her to make it look like it's the goddess herself could just start moving herself. And yes, it is a statue of the great goddess Carnage. And there are some people there, a handful of priests milling about, and there's an offering bowl there. There's kind of a pew off to the side here that, and they each of these statues has like a little cubicle like in front where some of their devotees will sit around. And um, if I am remembering correctly, Arklanar has about 24 gods. So, which gods do you want to go talk to?
Yarrow specifically, I mean, he figures Shed's probably going to go touch each one because he saw how Shed was back at Soltage.
Right.
Yarrow specifically is going to be looking for the crushing depths because he wants to see if the Babushka had made her way this way or not.
No, the sea hag is not there. There
Well,
are a few other cerulean dressed priests. They're again individuals of every stripe here. There's 6 of them. And they're wearing cerulean togas. Togas and gold circlets.
Nice.
No, I've never seen these sect before.
Right. Yar will go back to Shed and ask him for the conch shell to give up as an offering.
Oh, yeah, he'll actually go with you. And he'll hand you the conch shell, but he'll go with you.
So, yeah, even if she's not there, Yarrow will still put the conch shell down wherever they're putting the offerings at and give a prayer up to the crushing depths and to the great blue whale.
There's also a statue of a blue whale here that is also painted red.
Right, the avatar.
This whale has some eldritch features about it, but still obviously resembles that of our earthly blue whale. There is one priest here who seems like he possibly could be related to or of the same species that that young man in the mailed shirt that you met before. He is indeed a cave nymph who is wearing a cerulean blue toga, but his cerulean toga has whirls of black on it that resemble whirlpools that seem to suck the light out of the air. and he is wearing a silver circlet with jet stones set into it as opposed to a gold one. He has a very creepy vibe about him, and he is off to the side meditating.
Interesting. I don't know if I have academics to see if I can figure out if I know anything about this.
It's up to you, whatever you want to roll.
We'll attempt it. Where is it? It's a 13.
He's probably from a different sect.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he'll do the proper offering ritual if he can. That he's seen before that they would have done in the other little shrine. Basically, we put down the conch shell as an offering. Say thank you for bringing us here alive, and not letting us perish in Sultage. So.
A short distance away here, there are a few other individuals, or some half fae, some quarter fae, some mortals, that are standing around a niche that looks to have like a waterfall on it, but at the top of this waterfall is a storm cloud, like a small storm cloud that stays in one spot, and it like flickers, and it's raining in one spot. It looks a little comical, to be perfectly honest, but there's not a cloud in the sky outside, but there's a cloud right here.
That's interesting. I don't think I've encountered that god before. Is there a statue of Ishtar anywhere?
Yes, on the opposite wall. Ishtar is standing right next to her sister, Ereshkigal.
Okay. I'll walk over, and is there a priestess of Ishtar there by chance?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll walk over and ask if she's heard tidings of Sultage.
She cocks her eyebrow and she's like, why?
Well, myself and my companion made our way here through unconventional means, and I believe that it was yesterday or the day before attacked. And I believe there was a shrine at least there of Ishtar. I did not know if you'd heard anything from there or not, if you had means of hearing from there even.
Ishtar's influence was never in Ishtar, in Sultaj.
A shame.
There were many there who eyebrow at you again. Why?
I had friends there that I was hoping a word may have reached here. Maybe, I don't know. I apologize, priestess. I am currently grasping at straws because the world is upside down at the moment.
Yeah, it just looks at you with some incredulity painted across her face. That village of pirates was a terrible place.
It was a terrible place. The worst pirates were upon the docks, levying taxes. He'll sort of smile at that. Says, "Oh, thank you for your time." And he'll give a little bow to her and head back over to Yarrow. And well, no one's heard anything from Sultaj yet, which doesn't really surprise me. I mean, I don't know how long it would take a ship to get here from there, but I would assume it would be a while.
Longer than 2 days.
Oh yes, longer than 2 days.
Yarrow would actually, he's not going to deal with the priest acting all creepy, but he will walk up to one of the acolytes of the crushing depths if they have a moment.
There's no acolytes here. These guys are fully ordained priests.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Foyer, one of the priests. Then,
You
if they have a
you
moment.
are the acolyte here.
Right, right. Well, I figured even no matter they probably have like a couple doing menial tasks, but either way,
Fair. Okay.
he'll go up to one of the people overseeing this particular section.
Right.
And if he catches one of them, he's just gonna walk up and in true Yarrow kind of bluntness here. Um, we recently got here. Um, was there an elderly lady that came through earlier today, or maybe even last night? You really couldn't miss her. She had all sorts of implements reminiscent of the crushing depths on her and about her.
They look at each other. No. One
No.
of which is actually a siren. And she says, "No, we've not seen anyone of that description."
Okay. She was able to walk on the ocean floor.
And the
So
priests
she
kind
is
of look at each other like, "Oh yeah, we can too."
right. So I know she's not someone of little note. Um, she's actually the reason we were able to make it here. So I was hoping to see her and thank her if she was of the type to converse with. But
Uh, do you know what people would claim her?
I ain't no, because where we were at, she was in such a state that she was near unrecognizable for what she should be.
Oh, huh.
Unfortunately, I believe where she was before, she was probably looked down upon and was basically the crazy one in the city.
Huh. Poor old thing.
So, well, anyway, figured I'd give you the heads up on that if you do see her. Um, yeah, I still don't understand any of it about how we got to be here, but I'm pretty sure she was the reason.
Huh. All right. Well, we will keep an eye out for a disheveled member of the faith then.
Maybe you can tell us something, actually, if you wouldn't mind. She drew this symbol in the sand after she meditated for what seemed to be a full day and after her jaunt into the ocean. And it was like a five-pointed symbol, but the arms of the star weren't straight; they were curved. It had some symbol in the center, and she did something, and a doorway of light appeared in it. Is that something you're familiar with?
The voice of the kneeling priest behind you, he speaks. He says she probably inscribed the elder sign and found a way here. This cave nymph who clad in those cerulean and black robes stands, and he puts his eyes upon you, which are completely black.
Ah,
There's no pupil, and the white of his eye is just black.
would this be the sign of the corruption of shadow?
Are you asking him that?
No, I'm asking the narrator that. Would I know that, or should I make a roll to see if I know that?
Let me ask you, have you seen corruption that advanced or advanced corruption at all?
Probably not.
Then no, you don't know.
Okay. 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 Still probably a bit disturbing. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
No pupils usually
the,
is.
the tips of his fingers are black, though.
I look at the fellow and say, "Thank you for telling me this. I did not know what sign that was. I just knew it was some form of magic that was beyond my knowledge." So
You should be careful when interacting with people of that stripe.
understood. Had she not led us here, well, I probably wouldn't even be here. We would probably be dead by now.
How do you know that she led you here?
She created the sign, and the door opened, and it was our chance to leave. So we took it. She stepped through first, therefore I assume she led us here, whether she meant to or not. I cannot tell. She did not speak much.
Hmm.
So,
As you were then.
and we'll step a bit away from them and look at Yarrow. That guy's creepy. Odd.
Yeah, that guy just watches you.
Oh,
If that helps the situation at all.
Oh,
well,
hell no. Of course it doesn't.
Yarrow will do his, or sorry, not Yarrow. Shed will do his normal thing and actually go and sort of pay respects to each religion he sees here, even the ones he doesn't know what they are.
You will be here all day.
So, okay. Then he won't, well, he won't, once he figures that out, he'll be like, okay. He'll pay homage to the gods he knows, which is
Actually,
probably half a dozen.
as Shed starts to like get that exasperated side, he's like, "I'll go look for work. You do your duties. Meet me down at the docks."
Okay. I will do so, and I'll see what I can find out while I'm here.
What does he do at the statue or the image of Morpheus?
Would he know who Morpheus is?
Everyone on this side of the world knows who
Okay.
Morpheus is.
Let's see here. He'll probably,
Pray for a good night's sleep tonight.
yeah, pray for a good night's sleep and a relief of his exhaustion.
Ah,
So, and thank him for allowing him to get the rest he had gotten on his trip.
oh, nice. Let's ask Cthulhu to help us sleep better. Okay.
Well, of course, that's, yeah. Just may his tentacles wrap about us and protect us from the demons of the dark.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I guess once he's done his quick prayers at the ones that he knows, he's going to start maybe to the ones he doesn't, and he'll speak to the priest and he'll walk up to them and say, I don't know who your deity is. I'm afraid it is not common from where I am. Could you tell me a bit about them?
Okay.
And and use that as the icebreaker, and then sort of ask sort of what's happening in town. If they know about this war with Ra, what's going on there. Just general conversation type stuff. He's
Well,
trying to basically get a lay of the land, effectively.
with that, we're gonna go and close the session here. But as you
Okay.
guys are leaving the Pantheon, we will go for closing soliloquies as you guys find yourselves about on the mosaicked agora. Yarrow, would you take us away, please?
All right. Well, Yarrow's tired. First off, he did not get a chance to rest at all last night, since he let Shed take that first little nap. So he is probably, if not well into that first grade of exhaustion, and he's going to go try to find work, of course. So he's exhausted, but he's also kind of got that like second wave of adrenaline came through because, oh crap, we found civilization. Oh crap, we're actually in a good place right now. I might actually be able to do something with my life at the moment instead of being on the run or being eaten. So, and honestly, he kind of told Shed to stay behind and do his thing, and he was going to find work because, well, he realizes after the first time around at the docks that Shed's not really built for manual labor, and manual labor is probably going to be about the quickest way to get a couple of coin around here. So Yarrow's going to take another one for the team on that one. He kind of figured he did his, for lack of a better word, I guess, his duty in telling the priest of the crushing depths about the babushka that helped him out. Where that comes ill or not is he doesn't know yet. Um, but it kind of just gets put to the back of his mind, and if he sees her again, he sees her again. If not, well, she's probably in the surf somewhere again, knowing her. Um, and kind of just like puts that in the back of his head. Um, his like he's looking around this city. He's probably in all of it. He probably stops to look at the bird of the first couple of times it flies overhead. Um, but honestly, more than the tourist ooh ah attraction, it's I need to eat, need to sleep, and I would like to just get back into a sense of normalcy again. Um, but then even with all that, I'm sure every little bit he's gonna feel that pull from that scroll he has tucked in the sash, pulling him toward at least the direction of Ra, if not a different one now, depending on where he is. Um, he's kind of in an optimistic mood. Like I said, it seems like it's on the uphill now, in term instead of just getting worse and worse with every turn. Um, but he'll see how it goes. The last chain or two has left him cynical and not quite pessimistic, but he definitely is preparing for the worst to happen and like the fourth shoe to drop.
All right. Shed, take us away.
So Shed, while he's milling about doing these conversations with these different priests and such, inside he is terrified. He's never really been to a large city like this before. And he's still somewhat grappling with the way he got here. Being completely and utterly alien to his experience. Um, the the gnawing at his stomach that is his hunger is there, but it's something that he has experienced before. He knows how to fix that. He's at least finally thinking to himself, yes, this is a large city. Yes, they have very strict laws, but it's a city. He knows how to operate in a city. He knows how to he knows he could use his wits and his charm in a city to possibly be able to get what he and Yarrow need, or at least get the information to get to what they need. He was very much aware that Yarrow was going to do his physical labor thing, and that though Shed is capable of physical labor, he is nowhere near as good as it as Yarrow would be. And he's hoping, this to basically understand enough about the city to be able to parlay any money that Yarrow does get into something that's going to get them one more step up, if you will. And he is, though he has that fear there, he is being cautiously optimistic. And there is a growing curiosity in him the more he talks to these people, and he realizes that yes, there are faces that he's never seen before. There are people and languages he's never heard before. It's places. It's this kind of thing that allows him to, well, spark a bit of that curiosity and how to learn. And he's always been a lover of learning, even since he was a child. That's how he wound up, discovering his talent for the circle of the enchanter was his curiosity and how things work, how minds work, if you will. He does, make prayers and obeisance as the priests direct him to at each of the altars. Of course, he has no sacrifices, unfortunately. But he thinks as long as I'm learning something, and he actually will take a little bit longer of a pause if he happens to come across an altar to Ibis, and he's going to actually thank Ibis quietly in his own mind for instilling a bit of that curiosity into him. And he's always felt a little bit more of a connection with Ibis and the other gods, but the other gods don't even know that. But he has found himself in an alien world that he is eager to explore.
And with that, our camera view will pull back out through the Omni Temple of Yatamrathale, out through its oculus, and we'll see the emerald green tiled city fade beneath us as we see more of these silver birds come and go, depart the city and this world. And we'll be back in a couple weeks for the final session, session 10 of a Sha'ir's poem. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back.